Al Pacino was called the Devil, and not for his bad character, but for his immense talent, which at times inspires mystical horror. On set, his intensity could chill the room, his eyes radiating a controlled, fiery energy that unsettled even the most seasoned co-stars. His role as Michael Corleone in The Godfather was a turning point, cementing him as a force to be reckoned with in Hollywood. Yet, behind the intense characters and award-winning performances lay a man whose path to stardom was riddled with hardship, rebellion, and controversy. Pacino's early life was anything but stable. Born on April 25, 1940, in East Harlem, New York, his parents, Salvatore Pacino and Rosa Girardi, divorced when he was just 2 years old. Raised by his mother and grandparents in the tough streets of the South Bronx, the young Pacino was no stranger to hardship. His father, an insurance salesman, moved to California, leaving Pacino to grow up without much paternal influence. The streets of the Bronx were filled with crime, and Pacino's early rebellion was inevitable. As a child, Pacino was already displaying signs of what would become his legendary persona. Known to his friends as Sonny, he earned the nickname The Actor at school, not for his performances on stage, but for his knack for getting into trouble and talking his way out of it. By the age of 9, he had already developed a taste for cigarettes. By 12, he was experimenting with alcohol. At 17, Pacino was expelled from school, marking the beginning of a turbulent period in his life. His mother, disapproving of his antics, eventually kicked him out of their home. Pacino was left to fend for himself, taking on menial jobs as a janitor, messenger, and letter carrier just to survive. His dream of becoming an actor seemed like a far-fetched fantasy. Despite the turmoil of his youth, Pacino's passion for acting never wavered. After finding his way to the HB studio in Greenwich Village, he met Charlielton, an acting instructor who would become a mentor and close friend. Lawton believed in Pacino's raw talent and helped him refine it, guiding him through the complexities of the craft. Pacino's early years in the theater were marked by struggle. He often had no money, no stable job, and no place to live. There were nights when he would sleep in theaters or crash at friends' houses, scraping by as he continued to pursue his dream. In 1966, Pacino auditioned for the prestigious Actors Studio in Manhattan, where he would meet legendary acting coach Lee Strasberg. Under Strasberg's tutelage, Pacino fully embraced the method acting technique. He would later credit Strasberg for changing his life, saying it was the pivotal moment that made him dedicate his life to acting. But Pacino's intensity and commitment to his roles would soon blur the lines between fiction and reality, earning him a reputation as one of the most difficult yet brilliant actors of his time. It was on the set of one of his films that Pacino earned the nickname The Devil. Not because of any villainous behavior, but because his performances often evoked a level of mysticism and horror that few actors could replicate. His ability to embody characters with a chilling authenticity left both fans and fellow actors in awe and fear. Pacino's rise to fame came in 1972 when he was cast as Michael Corleone in Francis Ford Coppola's The Godfather. The decision to cast Pacino, a relatively unknown actor at the time, was met with significant pushback from the studio executives. They wanted a big name, someone like Robert Redford, Warren Beatty, or even Martin Sheen, but Coppola insisted on Pacino, captivated by his intense demeanor and mysterious aura. The film became a cultural phenomenon, and Pacino's portrayal of Michael Corleone, a man who transforms from a reluctant outsider into a ruthless mafia boss, cemented his place in Hollywood history. However, the film's depiction of the mafia sparked controversy. Some argued that The Godfather glamorized organized crime, while others praised it for showing the mafia's complex and nuanced inner workings. Pacino's performance was both celebrated and criticized, with some calling it too cold and distant, while others hailed it as a masterclass in subtle, brooding intensity. Despite the backlash, The Godfather earned Pacino his first Academy Award nomination. The sequel, The Godfather Part II, released in 1974, was equally successful, but controversy followed Pacino yet again. This time, it was his decision to play a more menacing, authoritarian Michael Corleone that raised eyebrows. Critics accused him of turning the character into a soulless villain, stripping away the humanity that made Michael so compelling in the first film. But Pacino defended his choices, insisting that Michael's descent into darkness was an inevitable result of his circumstances. While Pacino's career soared, his personal life was fraught with turbulence. He has been linked to several high-profile women over the years, including actresses Jill Clayburgh, Diane Keaton, and Beverly D'Angelo. His romance with Keaton, who played his on-screen love interest in The Godfather, was one of Hollywood's most talked-about relationships. But like many of his love affairs, it eventually fizzled out, leaving behind only rumors and speculation. Pacino never married, but he has fathered 3 children. His first child, Julie Marie, was born in 1989 with acting coach Jan Tarrant. Later, he had twins, Anton James and Olivia Rose, with actress Beverly D'Angelo in 2001. Despite his love for his children, Pacino has often been criticized for his lack of commitment in his relationships. In interviews, he has repeatedly stated that fatherhood is the best thing that ever happened to him. Yet his romantic life has been a revolving door of brief affairs and broken connections. His relationship with Israeli actress Maytal Dohan, who is significantly younger than him, sparked controversy in 2018, with many questioning whether their age difference was appropriate. By the 1990s, Pacino's career was experiencing another peak. Films like Scent of a Woman, for which he finally won his first Oscar, Heat, and The Devil's Advocate re-established him as a force to be reckoned with in Hollywood. But with each new role came new controversies. In The Devil's Advocate, Pacino played a character quite literally named John Milton, who turns out to be Satan himself. The film, a mix of legal drama and supernatural thriller, reignited discussions about Pacino's apparent fascination with dark, morally ambiguous characters. Some even claimed that he was typecasting himself as the villain, constantly playing roles that emphasized his intensity and volatility. But Pacino shrugged off the criticism, declaring that he was simply drawn to complex characters. Now in his 80s, Pacino shows no signs of slowing down. He continues to act in major film and television projects, including Quentin Tarantino's Once Upon a Time in Hollywood and Martin Scorsese's The Irishman. Despite his age, Pacino insists that he doesn't feel old. "I don't think about age at all. It's just a number," he said in an interview. "I like working on new projects all the time, and I'm not going to stop." Yet, as Pacino continues to defy the passage of time, questions remain about the toll his career and personal choices have taken on his life. He has been described as both a genius and a tortured soul, a man whose dedication to his craft has often come at the expense of his personal happiness. Throughout it all, Pacino remains an enigma, an artist, not just an actor, whose life is as complicated and controversial as the characters he portrays on screen. Al Pacino's life is a study in contrasts. He is a man who has built a career out of playing complex, morally ambiguous characters while struggling with his own demons off-screen. His legacy as one of the greatest actors of all time is undeniable, but it has not come without its share of controversy. In the end, Pacino's greatest role may be the one he plays in real life, an ageless artist constantly at war with his own contradictions. That's a wrap. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more updates. See you in next video.